In the supplements, vitamins, health/wellness space, most packaging and brands pretty much look the same. If you were to line up bottles from most of these companies, yes, there might be some graphical differences, but the bottles, the packaging, and in general are basically the same thing. And the majority of companies are really not owning a custom shape, bottle, presentation, or color in their branding. But this brand right here, Seed Probiotics, really has nailed it. The minimalistic branding and packaging design. And not only is this a solid design, but when they have produced packaging with a really extremely low carbon footprint, unlike I've almost seen anywhere, using the most sustainable, biodegradable, recyclable, compostable materials, all while really separating themselves from their competition through packaging. I'm gonna break down what it costs to make packaging just like this, and I'm gonna share with you guys how you too can separate yourselves from your competition through packaging, and if you wanted to make a minimal brand, what you should do, and maybe more importantly, what you should not do in your packaging. This really is a prime example of less is more. And as a borderline slash, well, maybe I'd call myself an aspiring minimalist, I love when I see a brand absolutely just nail it with minimalistic design. It really does take restraint to leave out graphics, to not print product benefits on the box or the bottle, just to make a very clean, simple, ultra minimal package design. And you'll notice on this box, the only thing printed on the outside is their URL, seed.com. And as you also can see is the box, we have this entire exterior flooded with the brand's Pantone green color. You'll notice that every piece of printed material as I go through this box is, including the shipper box, is what is known as FSC Certified, which stands for Forest Steward Councilship, and is sourced from responsibly managed forests. This is also FSA recyclable. And as we open this box up, we've got their tagline in here. We've got your back, we got your back, which is a great tagline, by the way. Playing off of that common phrase, but referring to your body's bacteria in this case. You'll also notice this interior is flooded with that same Pantone green. And when you step back, when you look at this entire package in this box as a whole, you'll notice that there's no gloss. We just have a matte finish, and you notice the green colors. They're the exact same. It can be difficult to have your brand color be consistent across different substrates. Like when we have a plastic lid, a glass bottle, and a corrugated box, all with that same color, this is hard to pull off in manufacturing. So if you're wanting a custom colored glass or box for your product, testing and QC is important because that Pantone must remain consistent if you're trying to achieve that high level of design. I often seen brands do have like their own custom color, but it changes when they do apparel or a t-shirt or packaging or business cards or the logo and everything else. You need to make sure the factories are testing that color with your product inside. So for example, like if your product, there's capsules inside this, but if you have a liquid or an oil or a cream or a powder, when you put the product inside your bottle, it actually changes the color of the glass itself. And so if you want that consistency, you got to send the factories your product itself so they can fill it up and do that testing. Rarely do I see a brand really go this far with sustainability in their packaging. The pale label on the back of here is also FSC certified. This is not cheap to do necessarily. They're using glass, which is infinitely recyclable, as we know. So you've got this daily pre and probiotic supplement company. This larger jar here is what they fill the daily use, and then they have this smaller one that's empty that you can fill to travel with a lot easier. You know, when you're spending 50 bucks on a 30-day supply of supplements, this sustainability really complements and enhances everything. Like you gotta nail the packaging. Presentation really is part of their brand, part of their product itself. If you were to go the opposite, right? $50 for a plastic bag full of supplements, there's no way you can pull that off. This just looks like a $50 presentation. Like the glass jars are this painted glass. So it's using a soft touch matte finish texture spray. As you can see from the top here, when we open this bottle up, you can see that spray kind of fade a little bit. So this is just paint. This is glass and plastic, and it's just paint sprayed on there, custom color. So let's check out this custom mold that's on the inside of this box here. This is what is called mycelium or mushroom packaging. And recently I did a kind of a breakdown of how IKEA is trying to go to mushroom packaging. But mycelium is the root structure of mushroom that acts like a natural glue. So it binds agricultural waste and it turns it into a positive impact resource, replacing unsustainable synthetics like polystyrene and polyethylene that most companies use. Because the best part about mycelium is you can literally throw this in a garden and it's gonna decompose within 30 days. So most brands do not go this far. I'm not saying you have to go this far with your packaging when it comes to sustainability, but the papers, the labels, like as I mentioned before, they're FSC certified. And then we've got mycelium, we've got glass, all this is very sustainable. This is definitely not the cheapest route to go, but it becomes part of your brand story like it does with seed. This is a huge portion of their website. If you wanted to invest in packaging like seed, like this, what would something like this cost you guys? So the exterior corrugated box with this flooded Pantone color inside and outside is gonna be 30 to 50 cent range. The glass jars, custom spray colored with a cap, the white screen printing would be 40 to 50 cents per bottle. And this mycelium, being the most expensive part of the package itself, is estimated at $3 to $4 at volume. So if you were doing a custom molded bottle shape like they've done here, you would need a mold, which would cost you anywhere from $750 to $3,500. Overall, I consider this packaging minted. But let's quickly recap sort of some of the things that we've learned today. Number one, less is more. Seed's minimal approach in packaging, all this negative space and simplicity really speaks to the ethos and who the brand is. Second, when you go all in on sustainability like this, packaging isn't just packaging. It becomes part of your brand story. Third, when you can match colors across all substrates and create consistency in branding, you'll deepen your uniqueness in your brand and design identity. And last, the total cost to produce all of this packaging at volume is gonna be a $4 to $6 investment. All right, guys, when you think about this though, if you were to place this packaging, the bottles, the presentation, you line it up next to 100 other brands in this space, this one clearly is gonna look different than all of them. There's just too much stock packaging used within brands, too much brands copying each other. There's not a lot of strategy placed into presentations and kitting at the level that Seed has done right here. So something like this will really separate your brand amongst all of your competitors, which just helps you tell your story, it helps you further your cause, it helps you get in front of more customers and ultimately sell more product, and that's what we're here to do. Let me know in the comments what packaging you want me to break down next, and if you are into some packaging like this, please give me a subscribe. We are Process Minted. This is the Masterminds of Packaging, and we will see you guys on the next one.